Hello and welcome to ACS Golf on this lovely sunny day. Yes, I'm inside, but I have been outside and very much enjoying the sun and looking forward to getting on the golf course this bank holiday in the UK. Now, what we're looking at this week on ACS Golf Reviews is the Cobra King MIM wedge. Now, before I get into more details about this, guys, do remember to subscribe to the channel. I've had quite a few subscriptions lately this week, so thank you very much who's new and subscribed. Obviously, the more we get, the more videos I can put out. And, by subscribing, it means that you don't miss weekly reviews. I've got some great stuff coming up, some old classic, limited edition stuff to review for you guys. Brand new stuff as well, which I have behind me, which are new clubs for this year. So remember to subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos out. And also you get my extra little videos as well, like my sort of putting collection that I'm currently going through for you guys as well. So remember to subscribe to the channel. Now, Cobra King MIM. The reason we're going through these wedges today is basically for me being in the game, started playing golf about maybe 3-4 years ago, really gone heavy into the equipment side of it, as you guys can probably guess, because I obviously do these series of videos for you. And when I think about wedges, I think of Tyler's Vokey and Cleveland RTX, and they're sort of the big ones for me. They're the big wedges. And then obviously you go down and you've still got some really big brands. You've got TaylorMade MGs. So I actually play with the MG2. Do check out my channel because I have reviewed these clubs. They're currently in my bag. I mean, you've got the Ping Glide. You got obviously the Callaway Mac Daddy as well. But you don't really think of Cobra when it comes down to wedges. Now you think of them when it comes down to drivers. Obviously the Cobra LTDX from last year, which I currently have in the bag. Obviously got the new Aerospace this year. So you do Aerojet, sorry, not Aerospace, Aerojet from this year. So you do think of Cobras when it comes down to woods, but not from the wedges. So of course it means that wedges like this, which are jam-packed with technology, are going for a lot cheaper on this, not just on the second-hand market, but actually buying new as well. So as always, let's have a closer look at this club. Then I'll go through all the technology about it, show you some footage of me down the course. I actually took this down to Hersham last week. Show you some footage from there where I'll discuss about it itself. And then we'll go, after that, come back here, do the ACS golf scale, and I'll explain to you why I think these are pretty much a fantastic bargain if you're looking for new wedges on the market. Okay, so let's have a closer look at this bad boy. So there you go, a closer look at the wedges. Very nice, classically looking wedges, obviously apart from this sort of design there that they have there. They have that with their newer wedges as well, Cobra, but very classic, quite chunky looking, I feel. Definitely a little bit chunkier than my MG2s. I don't know if that's just perception or the fact they might not be, but they just look at that a little bit chunkier, sort of have a thicker top line there. Now, let's get into the technology from these wedges, because believe me, it's actually jam-packed, which I expect no less when it comes down to Cobra. They really do throw their technology into it, their clubs, and really do look into it. So Cobra King MIM wedge. So basically MIM stands for metal injection molded. So it's a manufacturing process where it gives their softest and most precise wedges that add better feel and more consistency to your short game. Now, going further into it, we have 0% metal injection molded. I don't really know why 0%, but that's what I'm reading here. Each wedge is created using a mixture of 304 stainless steel metal powder, which is injected into a mold. The metal is then heated in a sintering machine at an extremely high temperature, resulting in a more even grain structure than forged and cast wedges and the softest feel the industry has ever seen. We'll discuss about the feel later on because that is one of the ACS golf scale. CNC milled face, pretty standard when it comes down to all wedges, let's be honest. I say that Cobra actually has milled face on their drivers, or used to until the Aerojet this year, which was the first. So CNC mill face. Each wedge face is precision milled to deliver exact specification for maximum performance. A circular milling pattern optimizes roughness and creates sharper groove edges to maximize spin across the face. Obviously, great. That's exactly what you want when it comes down to wedges. Now, this is something I think is quite cool. So, progressive grooves. So, distinctive groove shapes feature narrow, deeper grooves in the lower loft, so 50 to 54, and wider, shallower grooves in the high loft, 56 to 60. There you go. To maximize spin on every shot. So, I think that's a really cool thing that Cobra have done there. They've obviously looked at it and obviously understand that, when you're looking at your sort of your 50 down to your sort of your 56, you're going to want that more spin because you're closer to the pin, there's more height on it, you want that stopping distance and obviously maybe that spin back as well. So it's quite cool the fact that they've changed the grooves in this compared to the lower ones. I think that's a really, really cool add-on feature that they've done there, which I think could work, to be honest. Moving on, a versatile grind. So an excellent all-round grind for medium to firm course conditions. Heel and toe relief provides versatility to place shots with an open face, while a center notch keeps the leading edge close to the ground without adding effective bounce. So that's why you have that notch there. There you go. And then you have the wide low grind. So a wide low bounce sole works its magic out of soft bunkers and medium rough, preventing the leading edge from digging. And then you have a classic grind, which immediate width sole with high bounce and trailing edge relief works well for neutral to steeper swings and a variety of course conditions. So you've got 3 different grinds there, which is great. This one is a classic, so for 52, which obviously you sort of want, I would say, on your lower wedges. And then here you've got the versatile grind, which is perfect because what you want with your 56 or above, which I especially do in my 60, especially in the bunkers, is open up that face to really be able to get the ball underneath the ball and get it popped up in the air. So some really good technology in there, really good thoughts as well from Cobra. Like I said, I wouldn't expect anything less. One thing to add as well is the standard shaft in this was actually a KBS High Rev 2.0. Now that's actually quite a little bit heavier shaft, so do be aware this isn't the lightest when it comes down to actual wedges. For me, I quite like the heavier wedge, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if anyone looking, be aware that this is a little bit heavier than I would say your average wedge. So there we go. That's all the technology in this guy. Let's get down to Hersham. I'll discuss how I feel about the club, and then we'll get back in the office for the ACS Golf Scale. So here I am down at Hersham with the wedges to give them a go. So for me, it's all about the feel. It's not necessarily about the distance. So, just played a normal 18 holes with it, use them for chipping, use them for full shots, where Hersham being a shorter course, it really does involve a lot of wedge play. First hole there, very happy with it. Second full there, full wedge, just short of the green, but really nice hit. Like the feel, wouldn't say it was the softest in the world, but I definitely got good response, and I was obviously happy with the hit as well. And then when we came down to chipping around the green, I found that I could very easily use the 52. Normally I actually use my gap wedge for this sort of shot, but I could use the 52. It was very good. I think actually this is the 60, where I just put it and it just left of the hole and I just missed it. Nearly went in for a birdie. Unfortunately, I missed a par shot and actually ended up putting for a bogey. But, really nice feel with the club. Here another shot, very difficult downhill. Felt like it sort of had enough bite really that it didn't run past that much. So again, spin was quite good with these clubs, which obviously you need with wedges. Obviously hitting them on the full as well, I found they really did stop dead. They didn't go flying or keep on rolling, so had a good level of spin of them as well. And one thing I will say is obviously with the distance, I had a 58 in the bag and a 52. Now normally I'm a 60 and 56 and a gap, so that 58 was going around distance wise really when I did go to the range with them. It was going that sort of 75 yards I sort of expect. Normally my gap wedge goes about 70, and then when it comes down to the actual 52, that was going about, I think it was about 100, which again was perfect. And then this one was the last one to finish off the hole. Just pulled it left of the flag, but managed to end up putting for 2 and finishing the round on a lovely par. So there we go, me down at Hersham. good day at the office for me, actually. Well, I managed it, was 11 over, so happy with that, being a mid-handicapper. So I guess they worked. Now, going into, let's get straight into the ATF Gold scale, because by going into that, I can discuss what I really think of these wedges. So, distance. Remember, if it's the first time you're watching this, I do ACS Gold scale, which is distance, feel, looks, price, and forgiveness. Best being 5, worst being 1. Okay, so let's have a look for the Cobra MIM wedges. I can't always forget to say wedges. Cobra MIM wedges. I want to say irons, but wedges from 2020. So let's delve into it. So distance. Wedges for me, it's not about distance, because obviously you can change the loft, etc. For me, I'd say 2.5 out of 5. That's exactly what you wanted to do. Like I mentioned already in the video when I was out on the course, it did exactly what I'd say with distance. If it was shocking and didn't go anywhere for some reason, then I would say. But wedges for me, I'm not really too worried about the wedges. If it's not going far enough, then I might try, if I got 56, for example, like I have, then maybe I'll go 54 or etc. if I needed to really increase that distance. But the whole point of wedges is you get the right ones for you and get that gapping right. So distance, I don't really worry about distance when it comes to wedges. So 2.5 out of 5 does what it says on the tin. Mid-range, boom, there you go. Now, feel. So obviously halfway through this video I was commenting about how Cobra was saying this, and injection mold, really made it the softest wedge in the world. I don't agree with that, to be honest. A lot of reviews do say it's extremely soft and they really like it if you go and read some more reviews about this club, but for me it felt a little bit more on the hard side. I definitely think my MG TaylorMade 2 is softer out the middle, 100%. Don't get me wrong, it's not firm, but it's not the softest. I did find that around the greens it was nice enough and I felt it, but when it came down to full swings, it did feel a little bit hard off the face. But not the end of the world. Don't get me wrong, not the hardest thing I've ever tried, but they're claimed of being the softest thing in the world. For me, I didn't really find it. I've definitely tried softer when it comes down to wedges. So, and I used to play with a forged pin glide as well, so that was extremely soft. So, not the softest I've ever felt, but not bad. So 3.5 out of 5, I would say, when it came down to feel. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, looks. I mean, it's just a nice looking classic wedge. You can get it in the black as well. They released that a year later for 2021, so there is a different look out there, and I believe these are changed. I think they're yellow, the writing, but 3 out of 5. Nothing bad to look at. Can't complain. But for me, the reason it's 3 out of 5, it just looks a little bit chunkier um, than normal. I don't know if it's an optical illusion, because I don't necessarily feel like it is more chunky than my MG2, but it just definitely has that look about it. So for me, 3 out of 5. Personally, I like looking a little bit down a smaller club, but obviously a lot of you guys out there watching this video prefer that sort of chunky look, gives you a little bit more confidence. So, but for me, 3 out of 5. Now, forgiveness. I don't really think too much again about forgiveness when it comes down to wedges, because in the end of the day, they're these shorter clubs. They're technically probably the easiest clubs you're going to hit. But obviously, with anything in golf, we all need forgiveness. Even the pros need forgiveness, for crying out loud. So forgiveness for this was actually very good. It was 4 out of 5, I'd give it, because it is that chunkier wedge. I hit one shot there, which was on the course, and I hit it, I'd feel sort of towards the toe and right at the bottom of the club. And it went its distance, to be fair. The ball flight was maybe a little bit lower, but it definitely went its distance, and I didn't lose any distance of it. I missed the green, but that was solely down to me aiming the wrong way. So, but, was really happy with the forgiveness of it, to be fair. And that's what you get with a more sort of chunkier wedge, like your CBXs from Cleveland or your high toes from TaylorMade, etc. So forgiveness was very good, 4 out of 5. If you're looking for a more forgiving wedge, definitely have a look. Now, last one, price. So I picked these up. So 2 wedges I managed to pick up for £56, so $70. And that's the 58 and the 52. Can't complain about that price. That is, perfect, really. So that's, oh, here we go. £28, I want to say. You would not guess that my main job in life is actually an accountant. £28, there you go. So £28, there you go. So £28, $35 per wedge. That is really good for 2020 wedge that, let's be honest, is barely used. The grooves are still perfect. You can see the milling on the face still. Grip's great, shaft's great. Really happy with that, to be fair. Really good value. And I've had a look into some other ones that were sold. Again, they do sort of can creep up depending on what you want. I mean, the 60 did go for 55, which is a bit high. So that's $68 roughly. But then 56, £38, $47. 56 again, £40, so $51. And then if you're looking on actual second-hand websites, golf clubs for cash, £60 for 50, so about $75. You know, around that sort of mark there, 56 for £52, so $66. So not bad really for 2020 wedge that I think is very good. I really do. It has performed well on there. I think it's a really good value in the second hand market. And if you pick two of them up, to get them under £40 is perfect. And even saying that even more, I found a website, Jam Golf, over here in the UK. Do guys check that out. You can, if you're interested in this, you can pick it up brand new for £70 for £79.99. So just under £80, which is just under $100. So brand new 2020 wedge, which, to be honest, wedges haven't changed that much over the past years. There's not really that much difference. There's only so much you can do with them. Same with irons, same with everything really. We're really at the platform when it comes down to innovation, when it comes down to golf clubs and improvements. So I think they're really good. So I'm saying 4 out of 5 because I think it's a really good price for them. I mean, I personally didn't particularly like the feel of them. I did say it felt a little bit hard, but some of you guys might love that sort of feel. So that's their spin rate. I thought was really good on the course. I thought it stopped well when I hit it, which was perfect. And then obviously, like I said, there's quite a bit of forgiveness in it as well. So there you go. I think a pretty good bargain. Something, if you're looking for new wedges, definitely something to go out and consider Cobra when you're looking at them, because I personally think you can get a good deal for them. So there you go. There's my review of the Cobra King MIM wedges. Definitely worth a go if you're looking for new wedges this year, because not what many people think about them. And I think if you keep an eye on eBay or secondhand marketplace like Facebook, things like that, you could probably get a really good deal. So do keep an eye out of them if you're looking for new wedges. So there you go, guys. Remember, do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on weekly equipment reviews released every Sunday. Obviously, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and mention down in the comments below, if you do play with Cobra wedges. I'd love to know if any of you guys out there do, and what you think of them. So there. Okay, I'll catch you guys next week. Have a lovely week in the sun if you're over here in the UK enjoying some golf. Bye bye.